So, there's a debate, and I'm on the wrong side of it. And I know I'm on the wrong side of it. So, here's a cast picture I got today. This is from season 3, because it's at the prison. You'll notice that the cast, a lot of those people are no longer on the show. Of course, in the middle is Lauren Cohan, and as long as Lauren Cohan's in the picture, I'm more than willing to buy it. All 8x10s. I know people get 8x10s to get them autographed. I get them because I envision a set for this channel. I mean, I have a set idea for the hockey channel, of course, for those that follow that one. My set idea for this one is simply to have a bunch of 8x10s or have a bunch of pictures ready so that I can have a set behind me that has the show I'm watching on it. I don't watch The Walking Dead anymore, though. Because, see, this kid right here? That's Glenn. They decided to murder him. And see, this girl right here? That's Beth. They murdered her. It was the start of the end for me. Terrible. Now, that brings me to this. That is the cast picture for Fear the Walking Dead. Season 2. It's now Season 3. Alive, dead, dead, alive, 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 apparently alive, and alive. There's a difference. Now, Fear the Walking Dead is at the start of the whole thing. And there are people who complain that they rushed the whole zombie apocalypse. And they kind of did. They did. But this show is a coming out party for her and for her. You may recognize Alicia Demnam Carey from the 100. I couldn't get through the 100 to the part where she's even in it because it's just too stupid for words. But that's my opinion, of course. But Alicia is a strong character. Now, in last night's episode, the 13th episode of Season 3, titled This Land Is Your Land, oh boy. So Alicia is left in a position where she's in charge at the ranch. A lot of people have to die for Alicia to be in charge, but that's kind of what happens. That group that I just showed you, they're the heroes. They're the ones that live through everything. So, if you see another character around them, they're probably not going to last very long. So she's left in a position where the dead are coming. And the defenses that they have, they're not going to hold. And she knows they're not going to hold. So she tries to get them to a place where they can wait it out. The problem is, the pantry they go into, there's no air coming into it, so they're slowly suffocating. It is a terrifying episode. It is a bleak episode. It is a dark episode. But it gives Alicia more depth than she had in the previous however many episodes there's been. I know people have complained about Fear the Walking Dead being boring. People have complained about Fear the Walking Dead not having characters that are as strong as The Walking Dead. I don't agree. I think that The Walking Dead, there's been so many characters I've got attached to that have died off, and I could go on about them for half an hour, that I've really given up any emotional investment in a character, which is fine when it's a zombie film. So you're watching a zombie film and you understand that eventually your heroes are going to be overcome. Zombie films are always dark, and it's not like there's ever a cure and everybody wins and everybody's happy, yay. I don't expect that with Fear the Walking Dead, but since it's a series, there should be characters you're pulling for that, I don't know, have a chance to live. In The Walking Dead, they've killed off so many people, and I get why they do it, and they admit why they do it. We don't want anybody to feel safe. We don't want you to feel safe. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I'm totally fine with that. But there's a problem, and I'm going to go back to the picture I just showed you guys. So you've got on the left here, well, my left, you're right on the camera. You got Michonne. She's not going anywhere. Carl, they're not going to kill Carl off. Rick, they're not going to kill Rick off. Black guy, so he's already dead. Pretty girl, so she's still alive because they killed this pretty girl over here and the dad. And the boyfriend. Carol's still around because she's a badass. And Daryl's still around because people are going to riot if he ever dies. There are certain members of the Walking Dead cast that you know are untouchable. And the one they decided to kill off was Glenn, which is a shame because I liked Glenn. And I don't care what happened in the comics. I don't care. And I didn't watch any of this season of The Walking Dead after they murdered Glenn, because it upset me so badly I couldn't watch it. Fear the Walking Dead has never crossed that line. I know, and I'm going to go back to the cast picture here. When they killed off the son, okay, it was a justice of a sort, and it was understandable. And the son had been snapping the whole way along, and you could see that he was getting further and further into some bad territory. The dad, when he dies basically as a hero, and it's shocking, but it's understandable. Nick, I've wanted to die at certain points, and he hasn't. And there are characters on this show that, like Strand. I didn't think Strand was going to stick around. Remember at first when they introduced him, I'm like, really? You guys are going to have this in here? This is stupid. But his character's grown. Ophelia as well. She's changed. She has really evolved as a character. And if Daniel's back on the show, fantastic. I love the Daniel character. So I'm very happy about that. But this episode that I'm talking about was all Alicia. It really was. And in the end, she's fighting everybody off to save herself. And there are moments where there were people who were important to her at the ranch, and she's desperately trying to save them, and she can't. And there is that moment of despair that you feel. There's moments in this episode where you feel what she feels. And I remember that with The Walking Dead. I remember when Andrea shot Daryl, being so angry that Daryl got shot by Andrea. I remember when Dale died because of Carl, being very angry at Carl. Carl's ability to get people killed. Between him and his mom, they got a lot of people killed. And it upset me at the time. Now I don't care. I don't care. If I tune in to try to watch Evil Dead, I got Ash versus Evil Dead on the brain. If I try to watch any part of The Walking Dead, I just find I don't care, and I tune it out, I turn it off, and I don't go back. I forget it's on. Fear the Walking Dead is a series that takes the zombie genre and cranks it up in terms of the drama effect. And yes, it's a little slower. And yes, there's fewer actual zombies than there are in The Walking Dead. But the fascinating aspect of zombie movies and films often isn't the zombies. Often isn't the kills, unless it's a George Romero movie, in which case the kills are what everybody talks about, even though they also talk about this dramatic subtext and what was Romero really trying to say, and it's like, it wasn't that complicated. But the interesting part for me is always what happens when society is destroyed. There's a vacuum. Somebody's going to take over. Somebody's going to take charge. That's why one of the zombie films I liked was Land of the Dead. And I know other people didn't like it, but man, I got to say, I like the idea of a society and a city with walls around it, and them trying to preserve the idea of money and greed and power. And I thought that was fascinating. And then how that gets destroyed at the end of the movie is really interesting, because you find yourself not necessarily cheering for the humans. You're kind of pulling for the zombies in that case, and it's weird. Fear the Walking Dead is still in the process of showing us how society's trying to adapt to a change. To this idea that the entire infrastructure's been destroyed, but somebody has to be in charge. And there has to be an end to this somehow. Strand found out there is no end. It's global. It's everywhere. There's nowhere on the globe that you're safe from this scourge. And the only thing they've never done with these Walking Dead series and with zombie movies is, I mean, Dead Snow kind of went there, but not really. Arctic. I don't understand why people don't go north. Because even though fuel would be at a premium and everything, think about it. The Walking Dead are still humans. And if it's minus 40 outside, they're not moving around a lot. So, depending on how far north you go, you're going to have a few months a year where you can have kind of a normal life, at least until it starts to thaw. And in between, you can mow down a lot of your problem that's frozen in place. They've never done it. But this episode, what they did with Alicia, she, for me, became the character that I knew Alicia Debnam Carey could pull off. and the show, and I keep reading, oh, it's finally graduated to Walking Dead standards. No, it's been there for a while. It didn't have the hokey crap that you see on The Walking Dead, and there's a lot of hokey crap on there because it's stuff out of the comic book series. Like, yeah, we finally see the tiger. Yay, she's got her double swords, and she's got her, and oh, Daryl's got his useless weapon instead of a useful weapon in the apocalypse. You kidding me? A crossbow? That's useless. It looks cool, and he's lethal with it, but it's not a weapon you can easily reload. No, a machine gun is much better in the apocalypse. Zombies. Just no. I wouldn't want to learn a crossbow in the apocalypse is all I'm saying. So, you guys let me know what you thought of the episode. I delayed this episode review due to stuff that's been going on in the news, but it's like, you know what? I wanted to do this, so I've done it now. You guys can let me know what you think in the comment section below if you saw this episode. If you haven't, and you maybe you didn't enjoy it off the bat, I would recommend starting with the start of season 3. Just pick it up with episode 1 of season 3 and go through. Season 3 has been really, really good. The drama's been excellent, and it's building something, and they've done some different things with it. So, while I agree that the whole zombie genre is tapped out for the most part, everything's basically been done. Sometimes TV gets it right and does something different. iZombie is something different. Z Nation, a couple episodes I've watched of Z Nation have been way better than what they really should be. What started out as just kind of a spoof joke has actually turned into a relatively decent series. The quality of writing on that series has gone up dramatically. I just haven't got into it as much as I wanted to. The Walking Dead, I know, still has a large following, although it dropped quite a bit. So if you tuned out The Walking Dead this year because the whole Glenn Abraham thing pissed you off, I'm right there with you, brothers and sisters. Fear the Walking Dead hasn't done that. They haven't jumped the shark. And for me, what happened with Glenn was jumping the shark for The Walking Dead. And I don't know that it'll ever get back to that level of popularity because it's not the violence. It's that you take a beloved character that you made us care about more than any other character on the show in the second half of a season, and you just kill him at the start of the next season, and it's senseless and pointless. So Fear the Walking Dead hasn't done that. They haven't taken a character I really care about and had them die in a stupid, pointless manner. And that's where I'll leave that. So let me know what you guys think. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, and thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.